Okay, g'day, Rudy here. So this video is all about gold, the gold miners, the gold Etfs, and Jerome Powell last night set the scene for party time for resources. He's going to go to a low interest rate environment. It's going to lead to stagflation, and precious metals especially love it. So what we're looking at here is the dollar index. So this is the US dollar against the basket of currencies. You can see a nice head and shoulder pattern there, which is a bearish pattern. So a break, let's say it's nearly called it a break. So this is the dollar last night getting smacked. From a long-term perspective, you can see we're at really critical levels. So Mr. Trump's going to get his way, I think, and he wants lower interest rates and a lower US dollar. So he did tell me when he congratulated me on my 1,000th subscriber that he would do that for me. So thank you, Mr. Trump. All right, so now stagflation. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the different interest rates. This is the most important one. This is the US 30-year over the US 10-year. Now, when this goes up, it signals stagflation. What is it? Low economic growth, which is what the US has. Rising inflation, they already have it, and now it's going to get worse. High unemployment. You saw their recent jobs data is crap. That's why he's also going to drop interest rates, and AI is going to take people's jobs. So like what happened last time. So last time stagflation indicator broke out. This is the little purple squiggly line here is what the gold price. It's when the gold price broke out from its sideways movement. Bang. Now gold, because gold knows central banks are buying it. They know the real deal. They don't want to hold US Treasury notes. So they've been secretly stacking it away. And now the party's only just starting for gold. So if you don't have any, it's not too late. Party's just started. So can't all be good news. So the bad news is that obviously the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar spiked last night. It's obviously if the US dollar is mainly the euro and Japanese, heavily weighted, not much to us. But a rising Aussie dollar detracts from any rise in the US dollar gold price when it converts to Aussie dollar gold. We'll see that, which is another reason which we'll get to why I like the miners ETF, because the Aussie dollar going up doesn't detract. So let's have a look at the gold miners. So the US dollar gold. Nice breakout from the declining wedge. I'd say we're going to have a serious crack now at this level here. Gold in Aussie dollar terms, though, is still stuck in the pennant. As I said, while the US dollar went up, the Aussie dollar went up, so it's detracted. But I think for the gold miners, it'll be more of the fact that the US dollar has gone up. But that's, that's life. That's how it works. So if we look at how the gold, so this is GDX in America. So I'll go to a weekly chart. So you can see there. Now this is back in 2012. Remember, gold prices were a lot lower back here. So we're only back to there. So there's still lots of room to go, in my opinion, the chart's opinion. This is gold. So this is the gold miners over the gold price. So you can see now it's pretty much confirmed the gold miners are starting to outperform the gold price. This is the miners ETF. So this is us. So ASX. So I'd say this will pounce on Monday. And that's because it's hedged against so the Aussie dollar going up doesn't impact the price of this. It participates, whereas GDX's move will be capped a bit more than miners. So basically GDX outperforms when the Aussie dollar's going down because of that conversion. All right, so onto the so GDX is the only real, well, the miners and GDX, the only two ETFs you can get on the ASX. But there's some Ripper ETFs in America, and it's not that hard to get access to international brokers these days. So GDXJ is my preferred one. Although they're not juniors, these like evolutions in this one, so they're not they're not juniors, but that's up and away. There's another one, SGDJ. It's a Sprott miners one, so they're up. Well, they're all full of gold miners, so they're all going to be up. G-Bug, it's another one. We'll work out which is the best one. There's this GOI, which is for explorers, but they're not explorers because like Perseus and Romelius are in it. So they're not really explorers. Then there's this LSX, which is on the ASX. Subscriber who's in it kindly told me that to punt on explorers, so you're punting on management to invest in companies that are going to have some good hits, some 10 grams per ton hits. All right, so the GDX over the LSX. So this is the Australian GDX. So there's a big range here between 50% between top and bottom. At the moment, GDX is winning. Again, if we had this is the Australian Gold Mining Index over GDX. If we had an Australian gold miners ETF, we'd be outperforming, but we don't. So that's life. So back to American ETFs, the GDXJ over the GDX America. So the junior one is, I expect them to outperform the big boys. GDXJ over GOI. They trade in a 6% range, so either way I'm just going to stick with GDXJ for comparisons because that's the one I like. GDXJ over G-Bug, 4% range, so take your pick. I mean, have a look into all of them. GDXJ over SGDJ, so GDXJ's got the win there. So how did the big boys go last night? So Newmont, highs, Wheaton, just sitting here ready to pop. Wheaton's a royalty company, so not a miner. Franco-Nevada, another royalty company. Agnico Mining, lowest cost gold miner in the world. Going to go new highs. Barrick looks wonderful. So these are all the ones that's sitting in GDX. These ones that we're going through now. GDX and miners, basically they have the same. Anglo Gold, Kinross. I mean they're not stopping. Okay, so if we go and actually we'll just look at this one for a little bit. So this is the gold miners, Australian gold miners over the XKO. So the gold miners are now going to start convincingly outperform the All Ordinaries Index. Okay, so there'll be a few people who had some, we'll get to them. So Alkane, So it's hit this all-time high now, so it might, who knows, might just punch through it, or if it just consolidates here, that's nice. So if you're in it, just hold. Black Cat, still got this lovely weekly, these are weekly charts, weekly pin bar on the rounded bottom. It's getting ready to roll. BGL, so I thought they had mill issues, but someone told me they're trying to go like net zero. I said, okay, this thing's never going to go up. Tell me if you know anything about it, really. Capricorn, still looking nice. So Catalyst at the highs here, so may struggle. They're all holds to hold. Evolution, that's a hold. It's funny, Evolution's just filled the gap here, so hopefully it goes on with it and doesn't fill the gap. And alright, Emerald, that looks really nice. I mean, that looks really nice. Genesis, so they came out with not a bad report, but got tanked. So yeah, I don't know why. Some people have come out with average reports and done well. Anyway, that's what it is. It's struggled to get through that trend line. So if it comes back and finds a bottom, then that'd be a nice buy. Horizon. So a nice declining wedge. That looks like that's setting up for a good one. Northern Star. So just the indecision candle this week. You can see it's up and down. So I think if you're going to like have gold stocks, you should have probably at least 5 of them, I reckon, to spread the risk. Northern Star should be one of them. OBM, I don't know what's going on with this. If anyone knows more about it, because they should be going up, so I don't know why they're not. Pantoro, so that was just purely a chart trade move, not really. Well, that's the thing with all these gold stocks, I don't really know. I'm like a macro gold ETF investor, but I don't mind going through the shares, but I don't know the true intricacies of their underlying operations, just so you know that. So Pursuis, well, that's looking fine. Remelius, that looks really nice. You can see it's sort of congestion around here building a base, so that's nice. Regis, that's disappointing. I think I did look at this one because someone asked, but their ASIC has gone from 2.5 and they're forecasting up to $3,000. So that's that's why I think it's tanked. So because 3,000 is pretty high, they'd have to be one of the highest. Resolute looks pretty good actually. St. Barbara, so that's that. Well, once it breaks there, nice green candle, that'll get it going. Then we've got Volt. So I had a happy chappy send us. That looks like it's going to take out the highs. Because this is why even like this company's got some gold hedged. So you'd think that would be bad, but they did clear a lot of their hedge book. But it just goes to show the market makes what it wants of it. WAF, that looks really nice. See that candle there? That's a bullish pin bar. Pretty hard to beat that one. West Gold. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. That should go on with it with the 4. Got that congestion there. All right, I won't go through all the other little ones. That's probably long enough. We're just focusing on the big producers and the ETFs, and thank Jerome Powell and thank Trump for getting a lower US dollar. And if you are going to invest in an ETF, I suggest that miners one, because if the Aussie dollar keeps going up, then it doesn't detract from the performance. All right, let us know your thoughts. Say out.